So I want to talk a little bit about belief hacking and why it's so important. Essentially, the way we operate and the way we live our lives, we basically have two modes. We have our mode when we are conscious and we are fully present and we are doing the things we want to do, completely thinking about it. So when you intend to do something specific, you want to change direction, you want to go somewhere, you're learning something, you're in love. In these times, we are conscious, we are paying attention to everything that's going on, our moves. When we're learning a new skill, you know how, if you're holding a golf club, you pay attention to how you hold that golf club. You pay attention to how your feet are. You pay attention to where the ball is. You make sure that you are fully present in that moment. There's several other times where we live in this present moment. However, the majority of our time, up to most studies say around 95% of the time, we are actually operating based on our subconscious. Now our subconscious is who we are when we're on default mode. So right now I'm driving with a fifth wheel and stuff hanging over, and probably should not be doing this. But I've done this journey probably 300 times, and I feel confident I can operate my subconscious. So I'm here talking and driving at the same time. So our subconscious is that default mode where our habits are, like brushing our teeth. We don't have to think consciously about brushing our teeth because we've done it every single day, multiple times for our entire lives. So for most of us, many of us watching this will be decades. So, it's over 10,000 times for many of us. We've brushed our teeth. We don't need instructions. We don't need to pay full attention to it. So the two modes that we operate on are our conscious mode and our subconscious mode. Now, the subconscious mode is mostly beliefs that we've formed on how we should behave between the time of birth to 7 years old. Now, if you think about that, just humor me that that's true. How much did you know when you were 7 years old? How comfortable were you when you were 7 years old? How many decisions should you have been making when you were 5 years old or 3 years old? Not a whole lot. So we picked up this programming we learned based on experiences from other people telling us what we should and shouldn't do. Other people who were operating on their default mode, that their subconscious mode 95% of the time. So when that's the case, think about how profound that is. The education we're getting may have been the best education we could get at the time from those individuals with the best that they knew, with all great intentions. But it was flawed. It was flawed information. It was flawed beliefs passed down generations. And unless we actually unravel those beliefs that we have that create our subconscious, we are going to make decisions based on information we got when we were children, based on information our parents made, decisions they've made, information they got when they were children. So it's not really that good of information. Some of it might be great, but it's definitely not the best information that you could possibly have. And I think most people will agree with that. I think everybody will agree with that, honestly, but I'm sure there's somebody out there going to argue it. But this is why belief hacking is so important, because most of the time we're operating on that autopilot mode of things we learned when we were 7 or younger. And what effort have we done to change those beliefs, to expand our consciousness, to expand our understanding of things? We haven't made a whole lot of effort, most of us, unless you've actually done some belief hacking or working with certain types of psychology. You probably have not done these things. So that's why belief hacking is so near and dear to me, because when you fix and change those subconscious beliefs and you make those be those things that you want to do, those things of bliss and abundance, which most of us did not learn in our youth. It usually was scarcity and limitedness. When you change your subconscious to believe those things, then when you act on autopilot, you act in a mind state of abundance, of love, of truth. So when you belief hack, you change your reality. And your reality is formed based on your beliefs. If that's not enough of a reason to actually change some of your beliefs so you can have a better life on autopilot, things just start getting better and better, then there's probably not a good enough reason for you to ever make changes. You just don't want to make changes. And I don't believe that. I believe that you're a good person. I believe that 95% of the time when you're running on autopilot, that's somebody else. They're good habits, they're bad habits. That 5%, just using the numbers based on the studies, that 5% of the time that you are conscious and really paying attention, that's you. That's why when you first get a new job, you're all amped up and you are fully present and you're learning how it's done and you love it and you're engaged. The same thing with new relationship, whether it's a friendship or intimacy. There's that honeymoon period where you are fully engaged. If you play a sport, when you get the new clubs, all of a sudden you're better. Or bat, or motorcycle, or whatever it is, shoes. Those things make a big difference because your beliefs change. Because you are conscious and you are paying attention fully instead of operating in this comfortable autopilot behavior that somebody else taught you how to do. So it's time. There's no excuse. This world is changing. There is no longer an evolution of the species. It's time for a revolution of our species. And it's not even a physical one. It's a manifested one, which will manifest itself physically, but it's a spiritual, intellectual revolution going on of consciousness that's never been seen before. Never. This is bigger than the golden age. And it's your choice to be either part of it or become extinct. And I believe if you found this message, you are ready to take some steps to improve your life, to become more conscious, which not only improves your life, it will improve that of everybody around you. And what better way to give to those around you than to make yourself better, to make yourself do what you once thought was impossible, to be the inspiration, to help other people by leading by example. It's time to belief hack. It's time to become conscious. It's time to create new beliefs so that you can live in an infinite abundance. It's a beautiful world out there. And if you don't see it, or you see it and you want to see it more, this is a surefire way to do it. Hope to see you at some of the workshops, watching some more videos, and I'd love to hear your comments. Let's get rolling.